Hi, my name is Rosie Kubi, pioneer number 21, and this is Moshe Braha.
I'm pioneer number 10, and yesterday we were the Chanichei Turan for the day, which means that we're
like the leaders, basically.
Yeah, for our peers and our friends, and we had to
look out for one another and
tell them exactly what to do.
The schedule and stuff.
So yesterday the schedule was, I think, 7 o'clock tefillah, and then we did something called ODT, which was
outdoor training. So basically it was like all these different challenges. Boys and girls were split up. Boys with someone and girls were with this guy named Daniel. And we had to, no, Daniel actually, someone. And we had to, there was all different courses. Like for example, there was one course where there was all ropes attached in a row. And you had to try to get each body into the rope, through the ropes. And you weren't allowed to touch the ropes, like you had to pretend it was like barbed wire. And if you touched the rope, then you had to do it all over again. It was very difficult, but we learned to work together.
Yeah, and we had other obstacle courses like that, which were similar in trying to make everybody work with each other and be able to communicate with the group rather than everybody do it individually. So after that, we headed to Tel Chai, which was a museum of one of the first,
It's really cool.
one of the first kibbutzim in Israel in the early 1900s. It's right next to it's in the Etzbakin area, which is up north. So we headed there, I guess, after around 2 o'clock, and we learned about they were one of the first olim to come to Israel and how they sacrificed everything to go to that kibbutz.
We saw where they lived.
We saw where they lived and how they lived and the barn. And eventually they got into fights with
battle with like the Arabs.
They got caught up between the Arabs and the French.
The Arabs wanted to see if any French were living in the house.
So eventually many people died and most of the people fled. But the point was that the first olim were very
brave.
Yeah, they were brave and they did exactly what they needed to do. We also learned about Joseph Schumpeldor, who was one of the soldiers that helped in the fighting. And after that, we had to.
He was injured, and then he survived. And then when they were on the way, when they were moving out, he died, and they buried him. Okay.
So yeah, he's an important figure for the Israeli independence. After that, we headed to Miskavam to meet with somebody to speak to us. Miskavam is a kibbutz on the Syrian and Lebanon border, which is a great vantage point for the Jews, especially in the recent Lebanon war. So this person.
So basically, he's a great inspiration. He was trying to convince everyone, not really to convince, but he was saying his point of view of why it's good to live in Israel, and he was telling us about Lebanon and life here, and what he sacrificed, and what he went through, and what everyone should go through.
He had mostly radical conservative views, meaning he was somewhat crazy, but the point was that everybody took the message from him that it's really important for the Jews to come back to Israel, since he was an Ilead when he was only 21 years old. And after that, we headed back to the hostel, and that was mostly that. What I learned from the day of being a leader is that I could really influence everybody, either waking up on time or cleaning up or everything that they possibly need to do, and it helped them with my leadership skills.
And I learned that even though I was the leader of that day, during the ODT I learned that it doesn't matter who's in charge, everyone has to work together. It's not one person not going to be in charge, everyone has to pitch in and do their job, so everything could work out in the end. Right? Thanks.